Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Accompanying Disability, Caretaking, Family, and Faith by Topher Endress. Narrated by Daniel Thomas May. Introduction. Close your eyes and picture a disability. What do you see? Perhaps the symbol of accessibility. The near ubiquitous white stick figure sitting in a wheelchair? Or maybe you are picturing a set of hearing aids, a crutch, or a ramp. Maybe you are seeing a person you know, with their specific disability highlighted. Ask a group of people to picture disabilities, and you will likely get back a different answer for every single person. Despite how concrete and material the experience often is, disabilities are a pretty tough concept to define. People with disabilities, even those with the same diagnoses or labels, are often so different and distinctive in how they experience the world that coming up with a solid definition that fits everyone's reality is an impossible task. And that isn't even considering the radically different types of disability. After all, what is it that knits together a man with cerebral palsy using a powered wheelchair and a woman with significant cognitive disabilities? Or a veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder and a deaf child? Sometimes categorizations of disability are legal. Sometimes they are medical. Schools make use of set criteria to decide who gets certain services, like extra time for tests or in-class note-takers. Disabled people are eligible for certain legal and economic aids, but are restricted from many others. Drawing a line to say who is in and who is out is important in those cases. It is a very blurry line in most instances. What is a disability is an important, challenging question. The deeper question, though, is who gets to define a disability? Disabilities are inherently more complex than we ever tend to acknowledge, at least in public spaces. It's far easier to turn disabilities into the object of our pitying gazes, or the subject of our scientific research, and far harder to say with any credibility that there is pride to be had in disabilities alongside the pain. Naming a particular set of genes that produce a series of uncommon phenotypes takes scientific effort, but it is ultimately easy. Naming the ways we are irreversibly changed by the presence of disability, whether it is our own life or someone else's, is a much less straightforward task. But that's what I want to do. I want to explore how disabilities are normal and natural, yet shock our systems and break apart our expectations of the world. I want to see the pain and the reality of disabilities that hurt, while holding space for disabilities that make the world more fun, more loving, more whole. I want to acknowledge that a disability is a thing, but it also shows the absence of a thing in our society. I want to ask these big questions and figure out what we do because of them. In many cases, to be disabled is to be different, and worse off as a result. Fortunately, thanks to countless self-advocates and allies, there has been an emerging shift in this pattern of thinking. Disability is rapidly becoming a term that is less loaded with prejudice and more focused on naming what supports and accommodations someone may need to be fully part of their community. There is much more to be done, of course, but good things are happening. Sadly, often these good things are happening in spite of the church rather than because of it. Historically, the church has always been a pretty mixed bag when it comes to disabilities, sometimes doing wonderful work to support and care for people, sometimes doing really terrible things in the name of God. Disabled people have been subject to ostracism, pity, and even torture at the hands of Christians, even as disabled people have found solace, love, and welcome at other times. Theology can be used for good or harm. Helpful theology is a blessing, leading to better care and a deeper relationship to faith. Bad theology, which connects disabilities and mental illness to a lack of faith, sin, or demons, is a curse many still live.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?